if you can see me, if you see this, please say hello. But I am Christina Saley, and I'm a positive discipline parent educator and parenting coach. And I'm coming to you live every Sunday at 3 to talk about a new parenting tool. And today we're going to talk about family meetings. So, family meetings are so important to have because they teach children so many important, valuable life skills. Life skills such as problem solving, communication skills, leadership skills, that mistakes are opportunities to learn. They teach how to come to an agreement. Uh, just so many amazing skills that are taught through family meetings. So, when you first start teaching family meetings, you want to sit down with your family and just let them know that you really want to start doing family meetings because they're very valuable way to solve problems in the family, and they teach so many great skills. And your family is a priority, and you want to make time for each other every week. Then, when you first start, you can start with compliments and appreciation. So that's first on the agenda. And when you're first starting, that might be all that you do is just compliments and appreciations. And that's where each person gives a compliment or appreciation for each other person. So that might sound like, I really appreciate how you helped me with dinner, or I notice how nicely you and your brother were playing together today, or I really like how you were working so hard on your art project, something like that. And when you're first starting this, you want to go ahead and go first yourself to give an example for the children. And everyone's different, but my children were older when we first started having family meetings, and this was tough for them. It's not always easy for everyone to receive or give compliments, especially of their siblings. I remember my kids would give very backhanded compliments like, oh, thanks for not being a butthead, or thanks for not hitting me today, stuff like that. So even compliments and appreciations take time to learn. It's a skill that takes time to teach your children and to learn. So, if it takes a few weeks of just doing compliments and or appreciations, then great, because that's, great start. Then secondly, after you're ready to move on to the next agenda item, you would discuss, past solutions. So things that you guys have practiced. When you're first starting, you might just want to have a practice problem where you just learn the process of problem solving and brainstorming for solutions. And so in the beginning, you're going to just want to um, think about as many solutions as possible to the problem, and always keep an agenda where everyone can see it. So that might be on the refrigerator or somewhere in the kitchen, or pinned up next to the calendar, somewhere where everyone has access to it. And in the beginning, it's really going to take a lot of reminding your children and kind of coaching them along using the agenda. So when they come to you with, let's say, a sibling conflict, you can ask them, is this something you would like to put on the family meeting agenda? And when things come up for yourself, you can say out loud too, I think that this is, a great thing to add to the agenda. Anytime you might get into a disagreement with your child, you can agree to take some time to cool off and agree that this might be a good item for the family meeting agenda. So, when you're having your family meetings after compliments and appreciations, you're going to talk about any past solutions that you had tried for the week and how it worked out. Was it successful? Was it not successful? And maybe you need to talk about a new solution that might work better for the family. And then you want to look at the agenda for what's next to decide as a family. Choosing another problem. I really suggest in the beginning when you're just teaching family meetings to have the things on the agenda be the kids' problems that they're having. This really helps them to learn how beneficial family meetings can be for them. I made the mistake when I first started family meetings of jumping right into chores and all of the issues I was having with the children. And that didn't make it very fun for them and wasn't a good, like they weren't into it at first. So I really recommend having you really focus on the children's issues and problems that they would like fixed and they would like to discuss so that they can see how beneficial it is. Then next, you want to look at your calendar and maybe decide, who needs rides where, who's got after school activities when, and definitely make sure on your family calendar is family meetings. That should be a priority that you're having on your calendar every month or every week. And also, don't forget about your special time. I've talked in the past on here about having special time, one on one time with each of your children. So make sure that's on the calendar as well. Then you can also talk about meals for the week, might be another thing that you'd like to talk about during this time. And lastly, is family fun activity. So don't forget to have family fun activity. This could be something really short, such as a quick card game, or it can be longer, like Monopoly. So we all know how long Monopoly lasts, right? So it's really up to you. I would definitely take turns deciding, each person having a chance to decide what you're going to do for the family fun activity. If you're having your family meeting after dinner, you might just decide to uh, build your own Sundays as a family fun activity. It's really up to you. Just take turns deciding. And as you're having these family meetings, there'll be other roles that you'll take turn having each other do, such as the facilitator, a scribe, someone that writes down all of the ideas, um, timekeeper, family fun activity. There's lots of rules that all children of all ages can take turns practicing doing. So, some other tips for family meetings. I would say that during the brainstorming time that you remember to write down every suggestion and go ahead and throw in some silly suggestions there. Like if you're practicing talking about doing the dishes after dinner, make sure that you do something silly like, should we just throw away all the dishes? And make sure to write down every suggestion, whether it's silly or practical, whether you agree with it or not. The only deciding factor that you might cross something off is if it is not respectful or reasonable or helpful. So you always want to make sure that all solutions are helpful and respectful and reasonable. All right. Well, this is part one of family meetings. Next week, my business partner, Ken, is going to be coming on and doing part two of family meetings because there's so much to talk about when it comes to family meetings, and they're so important. So, we're going to hear a little bit of his perspective on family meetings next week. But I hope you found this helpful. And until next time, bye bye.